Great. Good afternoon, my IT5 students, and welcome. Believe it or not, Claudia and I were having a conversation for about 5 minutes, and then I realized that I hadn't started the recording. So now I've started the recording, and I'm happy to report that I've answered Claudia's email, and she wanted to know about the ACL, and she wanted to know about the YouTube videos and for registering late. Excuse me with a little bit of coughing. Don't worry, it's nothing serious. I'm here and I can chat to you. All right, Claudia, you want to introduce yourself again, Claudia, and ask your questions so for the benefit of the students that will listen to the recording.
It's good afternoon. My name is Claudia Hlongwa. I'm currently in Bloemfontein. That's where I'm working, but I'm originally from Durban. So the question that I've asked is regarding the MATLAB assessment, which was due today. Considering that some of us who have registered late, like myself, I only registered last week. So I wanted to find out if there can be an extension or if there can be a provision by Mr. Governor to allow us to submit the certificates next on our next lecture. And also,
sure.
Yes.
Claudia, I'm here to help you. You are my client. I am your server, all right? Client-server relationship. And I'm here to assist you. And if you have a request, which is reasonable enough, you only registered today, and you want a little bit of an extension, by all means, I'll grant you an extension with a teeny beeny penalty, all right? We'll talk about the penalty. You'll see how your mark is. But I have to give the benefit of the doubt to the students, or the benefit of those students who did it first and who got 100%, all right? Now, the reason I do the MATLAB assessment is, one, to ensure that you do your registration ASAP. Two, MATLAB is a licensed software for the entire university. Every single student basically can get access to that, right? And we are paying a site license. And we have very, very important IT concepts. I love IT, Claudia, and that is why I included that one. But don't panic. I will tell you about those two reports. There was a question about the reports. Yes, there's another question from H. Phungula, Phungula. Claudia, I hope I've answered your question, Claudia. So you got the extension, and I'll talk to you about the ACL, which you have already used. Yes, question.
Yes, sir. It's not really a question, but for me, I'm struggling to log into the Mets lab. So I don't know what should I do on my side, because it seemed like a bit of a struggle. So it's not allowing me to log in.
All right, that could be a possibility with your registration details, right? So I'm sharing my screen. Are you able to see it now? It says sign into your MATLAB account.
Yes, I can see it.
All right, let's do it together, right? So I've shared this link with the students in, I think it's by email and via WhatsApp. So you would get it. Now I'm going to click on create one. Let's go to create. There's the link out there. What's your first name, student?
I did that, but I just couldn't see what I should do actually in the. I registered everything that was sorted, so it's just a matter of me seeing what should I do there when I log in.
Oh, okay. Let me use my account, right? There's my account, and I hope when I do live lectures, I hope I remember my password. And let's just cancel. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to log into the account, right? Last week we did that. You will need to do a certification. It takes you about 2 hours to do it, right? And it goes through some very important IT concepts. My email address, and I'm going to say next. I remember my password. Oops. And I'm logging in. I hope y'all didn't see my password. Anybody saw my password? No. Oh, that was okay. People are waiting in the lobby. Let's just go and add the people in the lobby. All right. Okay, they're great. So once you come to the course, your account, my courses, and right, there we go. Can you see it says self-paced online courses? Hello?
Yes, I can see. Yes, I can see.
Great. Can you see I didn't do anything, it's 0%. Can you see that?
Yes, I can see that.
Okay, right. So I'm going to go to my courses, and my courses should be the online course. Right, there we go. So there's the little video. You've got to watch this video. It's for about 5 minutes. They talk about MATLAB and the programming concepts in there. Then they'll talk to you about commands in MATLAB for another 20 minutes. What's the MATLAB desktop environment, an editor? There's some maths there, vectors and matrices, but all the answers are within the course. You've got to do the course within your a time frame and so forth, right? Let's go to something about an array. An array is an important concept in programming, but I'm not going to go in depth in that. This is not a programming course, but what I'd like to do is expose you to IT concepts. IT stands for information technology concepts. They talk about functions. They're talking about programming. And there we go. It should, if you add up all this time, it's about 2 minutes, 2 hours, sorry, 2 hours. 5 minutes, 20 minutes, that's 25, 30, another 50. It's about 2 hours. Anybody who has completed the course, how long did it take you? Who's completed the course? There are some people that have completed the course. Anyone? Yes. Let me unmute you. Allow mic. Yes, talk to me.
Good
6
afternoon.
hours.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. Who am I speaking to?
You're speaking to Tembali.
Hello, Tim.
Hi, say. Hey, this course took me almost the whole day.
Oh,
I'm not gonna lie. I'm embarrassed. It took me the whole day.
don't be embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed. No, no. But did you learn something?
Yes, I learned quite a lot, but I think it was a lot of information, and I think it's gonna require a lot of practice. I don't know where I'll be practicing or when I'll get the time, but it was very interesting.
I'm glad. I'm so happy for that. I'm so happy. Well, it's like I said, some of you have joined this course from an accounting, taxation background. And my stance is this course is called information technology, and I must expose you to some information technology concepts. That's what my aim is. I am going to be using the SAP ERP environment. The SAP software is called S4HANA. And in order for you to be able to access those things, I've got my head of department on the line. I got to tell him that I'm in a lecture, right? 1 second. Right, sorry, my students. That was my head of department. And if it's your boss, you got to answer the call. You know how it goes, right? But otherwise, I will not answer the call. I promise you, I'm going to put my cell phone off, right? Okay, I put it on silent, just in case some of you are trying to get a hold of me. Is that okay? Right. Yes, I have a question here. I have a question. No car. Where's my glasses? Yes, go ahead.
Sorry, sir, it was an old hand. Sorry.
Oh, okay, no problem. Yes. All right, so does it help you with the MATLAB question? Anybody else with the MATLAB question and how to access it? Anyone with the MATLAB question? Yes. Go ahead.
Fucking hi, sir.
Hello, how are you? Put your
I'm
camera on.
fine, thanks.
You want to put your
And you?
camera on.
You know, I'm driving. I can't
Oh,
put it on. Yes. So I just wanted to say that I did put some comments on that survey at the end, because for me there is a section of about 4% that I couldn't complete. I mistakenly deleted the heading. You know, it says task 1, task 2, task 3. I don't know what happened, and then it got deleted and I couldn't undo. So that was the only issue I had with the course.
okay, but I'm sure you passed it.
Yes, because I got about 96% completed.
Well done, well done. I got to give you a little confession. I didn't expect y'all to get 100%, right? But I said I have to reach for the stars, okay, the moon, and I want y'all to well, reach the stars at least, or the treetops. So I'm very, very happy, and I'm very, very pleased to see so many of you who submitted the certification, and y'all did so well. So I'm very happy for that. So that will count for your first assessment. And I will work out how many marks I need to give a weighting for the entire semester as it goes along. Okay, so let's complete. I know there were some students that registered late. I'll give you a little bit of extra time to do it, but I don't want you to rush through it or copy other people's work, or to, you know, I've heard of students paying people to do their assignments. Then you don't learn anything. Okay, you must not do that. All right. So Claudia, are you still there with us, Claudia? I'm going to share my screen to show you where I have posted our lectures from the previous our previous lectures. So Claudia. Claudia,
I'm still here, sir.
you're still there, Claudia? Right.
Yeah.
Now, Claudia, I've been a lecturer for about 1993, 93 from then, right, as an educator. And one of the things I do is I don't repeat lectures. If you miss my lecture, I'm so sorry. That's one of my rules. I don't repeat the whole lecture because I can't do that, right? But what I would do is I would give you access to the recording. So if you go to my YouTube channel, Claudia, are you able to see my shared screen, Claudia? Claudia?
Yes, I cannot see it now. Yes, I can see it.
Okay, Claudia. So that's my name, Prinavin Governor, right?
All right.
Now, Claudia, you mind if I show off a little bit, Claudia? Claudia?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Can I show off a little bit and tell you about my qualifications?
Okay, show off. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Because you need to know that I am qualified enough to teach you, Claudia. Right. So, Claudia, I studied IT. I started studying it from 1986. And I continued and I did my diploma. I've got a teacher's diploma. I've got my honors. I've got my master's, and I've got my PhD. And why I'm telling you this is because I want you, Claudia, to aim to be educated somebody like me. All right. Now that's why I'm showing off Claudia, not for any other reason. Okay. All right.
Oh.
So my name is, but you can call me if you want by my first name, which is Sir. Right. Okay. Okay. Right. But you've got to acknowledge that I had to work hard for me to be able to teach you. All right. But this is my name, Prinavin Govender. So if you can search on YouTube, you'll find my name, Prinavin Govender. You'll find IT5, sorry, semester 2022. And I've already had 3 lectures. So every time I have a lecture, I will save the recording on YouTube. So there was a lecture on the 21st or the 21st of February. I had a lecture, and I had 2 actually. It was 2 recordings. And last week I had a lecture, which was 1 hour, 32 minutes. Previous one was 41 minutes and it was 29 minutes. So Claudia, because you missed my lecture, you will have to go and listen to my voice that are for 1 hour 32 minutes 41 minutes on YouTube. Would you like that, Claudia, so that you can catch up?
Yes, I will do that, sir. It's fine.
Promise. And also you'll have to post a comment in the YouTube channel, right?
Okay, I'll do.
So when you click on that, look at this, I've got 22 views. Claudia, check that out. Oh my goodness. Plus,
But
I've
I've seen that you have posted the videos on Moodle also, so I can access the videos via Moodle.
Yes. Now let me tell you why I did that, Claudia. Moodle apparently is 0 rated. I don't know how far that's true. Apparently you don't pay any data costs when you're accessing Moodle. So if I post the video onto Moodle, then you can watch it over and over and over again, and you don't have to worry about the data. But if you're watching it on YouTube, like what's happening now, then you are responsible for your own data costs. Okay, Claudia? All right. So how do I admit these people? Oh, there we go. I'm admitting that. Right. So is there any other questions? So if you missed last week's lecture, like Claudia and any other students, or you just want to revise how did I get to where I am today, all my lectures are on YouTube. Now, Claudia, you also asked me a question about ACL. Am I correct, Claudia?
Yes, I did, sir.
Right. Now, Claudia, believe it or not, I have run this course last year, and this is the second time we're running the course. Generally, when we set a course up, we run it for about 2, maybe 3 years at most, and then we change the syllabus and we change the curriculum. So, Claudia, if you go to my videos from last year, there's my YouTube channel. It says IT 5A Semester 1 2021 PG, which is check, Claudia. My name is Prinavin. I teach a PG diploma.
Yes.
Is that a good joke, Claudia?
You teach.
Right. See, it's very important what you name your children. Okay. So I don't. Right. So I'm into PG postgraduate work. My mother named me Prinavin. So there we go.
Oh,
Right.
right.
Right. Okay. So if you look at last year's work, it says in June we were doing ACL. By the way, the ACL course will continue for the next couple of weeks, right? There we go. I spoke about ACL out here. Now, last year, I actually got an expert to do ACL, Mr. Mandla. In fact, he is the one who registered you. Claudia, I don't think you'll have an ACL registration because you only registered like Friday. Isn't that so? Right?
Yes, last week, yes.
Yes. So you will not have an ACL, but there'll be other students who, in fact, one of the students is ready to submit the ACL certification. He's working too fast for me, right? So Claudia, if you want to learn about ACL from last year's lectures, it's all out here. ACL training with Mr. Mandla. You got audit command language on the 25th of May and the 26th of May. Now I'm bringing it a little closer this semester and this year because the students were not able to complete the ACL certification in time. So I said I might as well start with that. Well, it's March. We've got April and May. Last year, I did some of ERP SAP work, and the students found it difficult with ACL. Maybe I have more clever students this year, and they'll finish it up quickly. Right?
Yes.
But just to whet your appetite, Claudia, ACL works like this, right? I've already downloaded it. ACL. Let me see my ACL. And Claudia, you mentioned that you've already worked with it in training.
Yes, but it was long ago.
Okay. Now, I'm just opening up my ACL window. Right, there we go. There's my ACL. And when you are registered with the course, not you, Claudia, you haven't done it yet, and you haven't downloaded, it will say Durban University of Technology, and it will have some sample files that you will need to look at, right? So let's go and open up. Let's go and open up ACL. ACL stands for Audit Command Language for the benefit of the rest of the students. And this is registered to me as a DUT staff member, and I also got registration for you. Now, you will notice, again, I am teaching an IT course, an information technology course, and I'm teaching you with software. The software that I'm going to be using is this one, ACL. I already introduced you to MATLAB, and we're going to be, later on, I'm going to talk about SAP S4HANA. We haven't sorted out your licenses and usernames as yet, so bear with me for a little bit, right? But once you have installed ACL, you will get access to projects, and you're going to be opening up a project. Like, let's say, for instance, there's my project from last year. These were my students. There's Buthelezi, Langa, TS, Sitoli, Maniram, Mbambo, and there's their marks. They did a class test in Google. They did a class test in Moodle, and I imported the spreadsheet, and we will be talking more about this in later lectures. But if you want to whet your appetite to find out what it is all about, Claudia, then you can listen to last year's lecture. Here's a lecture with Mr. Mandla, right? I'm going to ask Mr. Mandla if he'd be able to share his time with us and do a lecture on ACL training. So there it is, ACL. I'm not sure if you'd be able to hear some sound, but this lecture took place on the 25th of May, 2021. Are you able to hear the video? Yeah.
No, I can't.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Let me try it again. I'm just to show you that if you want to be ahead of the class, like one of the students, but don't jump too much ahead of it because you know, you put me on the spot over here.
Okay.
Right. So let me go to one of these options allow me to play the video, right? To play the sound. Okay, so that's should be out there. They mute all. Allow mic for attendees. Oh, let me do that. Allow mic for all the attendees, and got to put the camera on for all the attendees. I'm so happy. The reason I had to block the camera and block the mics for you, all you people, is that apparently some students were hacking into classes and you know, disrupting the online lectures. So I've taken that out, right? I've done that. So let me go and so all of you have ability to unmute yourself and talk. Where's my device settings? My sound. Claudia, I'm sorry, my settings is somewhere out there, but it's doesn't seem to be working. But I will give you the links to the videos as well. Is that okay, Claudia? If you asked about ACL?
Yes, it's fine. I'll go on YouTube, then I watch the videos there.
Okay, great, right? But ACL is not due like today, tomorrow, or whenever, right? It's due soon, but not so soon.
Okay, that's good to hear then.
Now, Claudia, another question is, have you joined us on the WhatsApp group?
Yes, I did. On Moodle, there was a link there. Then I clicked on the link and it took me to the WhatsApp group. So I joined yesterday.
Great, right? I've generally used that to communicate with my students as well, right? So I've answered the questions about YouTube. I've answered the question about MATLAB. I've answered the question about ACL. Let me go to now the course or the course syllabus what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be taking the course from the ESEFA syllabus, ESE, right? ESEFA. And ESEFA, I'll tell you what this stands for now. Okay, log on, let me go and log in. All right, so my password is not available. Right, this is S4HANA, and you will be given a username and a password with the client access. But for now, I haven't assigned anything to you. Hang 10. Okay, Claudia, so don't start sending me emails. So where's my S4HANA username and my password? And I don't have all of that, right? So take it easy. Let's get everybody on board. We'll start a little bit slow, but we'll increase the pace as we're going along. This is another part of the software that I'm going to be talking about, right? AC4. Right, so I'm using our course is in conjunction with the University of Cape Town. Right, now I need to log in. Right, so this is the course that I'm going to be doing. It's called ASIFA. It stands for Enterprise Systems Education for Africa. And believe it or not, I like to work in conjunction with another university. So even though we are DUT, Durban University of Technology, we are the top 5 universities and all that goes with it. But when we assign our course or we work in conjunction with another university, in my view, it kind of adds credibility to it. So these are the, when I say, the aspects of the course, right? So it's all in folders, and part of this, the procure to pay, S4HANA navigation, that would be the practical work that I'll have to start you off with, right? So what I'm going to do now is, so here's the course. It says overview and design. I could have chosen the accounting option, information system, management system, education for Africa, curriculum, all that goes with it. I, as a lecturer, have decided to choose certain aspects of the course. So let's say, for instance, I'm going to be taking S4HANA and information systems, because believe it or not, I belong to the information systems department. So in terms of information systems, I'll be talking about all this that goes with it. The learning objectives dealing with information systems, the competency, and one of the very important aspects in here is ERP systems, enterprise resource planning, right? And again, the outcomes, we'll talk about that as we're going along through the course. And basically, what is an ERP system? What are the benefits to the ERP system? And believe it or not, Claudia, I've already included that as a journal article, right? Now, I would love it if one of you, 2, 3 of you, go and actually write this exam. This is an external exam, and well, it was free for me as a lecturer. I'm not sure how much the students will have to pay, but it's in dollars. But if you are interested, I can arrange for that, right? Now, this course deals with business processes, business procedures, and one of the business procedures is procure to pay. Another one will be sales to cash processes and inventory management. And all of these things will be done online. Excuse me, right? Online. And I can do it sitting in Durban, and Claudia, who's in Bloemfontein, and she will be able to access the course material. And I promise I'll go through it slowly, step by step, so that you can be able to well, complete all of the exercises, right? And that will also be one of your assessments. Now, oh, so by the way, if you have any questions, feel free to stop me anytime. You're more than welcome to WhatsApp me. Well, during the lecture, I'm not sure if that's allowed. Oh, Nampula sent me a missed a call from her. I know that's my IT5 student because next to her name I put IT5. Nampula, are you there? Is everything okay? Sir, there's also, thanks to our mic having
Yes, sir, I wanted to tell you that we are unable to communicate with you earlier on when you were asking questions because our mics were disabled.
Oh, thank you, Nampula. I saw you. Let me just show you. I saw your message here, right? Just to let you know, I kept my phone. There's Nampula's message here. Do you see my phone? Can you see your message here, Nampula?
Yes, sir, I can see it.
No, man, you can. Oh, that's good. Okay, but just to let you know, I don't answer cell phone calls during my lecture, and neither should you, because you all are important to me and I'm important to you. But thank you for that message. I'm sorry I read it so late, but better late than never. Don't you say that, Nampula?
Yes, sir. Because later on I was able to comment. I wanted to comment, and then you unmuted my mask, and I was able to comment.
Okay, great. Let me tell you why I did that. I muted all of you because I was afraid that maybe some SRC members or some hackers would have got in and started to disrupt my online lecture. But I'm so happy that didn't happen. Anybody else with a question? Anybody else with a question? Anyone else with a question? No questions. Okay, then let me continue with this course, right? How am I going for time? Right. So in this course, we'll be talking about SAP and this thing of a concept called ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning. And in order to do that, we need to have basically a a company. And the company that we're going to be talking about is ZAM Bikes. And this is a company that really exists. If you do a Google, I'll find the video for you, and we can watch it together on YouTube, or I'll send you the link. So ZAM Bikes is a company, and they are in Lusaka. They have a branch out there, and they want to implement these systems, this procure to pay, sales to cash, inventory management, and they have some staff out there. Now, they don't do everything, but this is the way we're going to use that company to explain all these business processes and these concepts in it, right? I don't know if you are so excited and happy like me. Nampula, what do you think? Are you happy? Nampula, are you there?
Yes,
Claudia?
sir. Yes, sir. Sorry, I was on mute.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm having.
Unmute. Not that I know of. Okay, so I know y'all may be wondering, why am I talking about ZAM Bikes company? And the reason I'm doing it, because that's going to be our fictitious company to be able to talk about all these ERP concepts, right? Now, let's go on. Then we're going to be using this navigating SAP, and the version that we're going to use is S/4HANA. We're going to be talking about procurement processes, SAP ERP, the navigation of SAP, purchase orders, procurement processes, and we'll talk a little bit about accounting concepts. Let me just go back here to and allow some students that are coming in, admit them. By the way, if you see them requesting to come in, please admit the students. I'm sure they're all our students. We'll be talking about sales processes, and believe it or not, I will actually be doing this work with you practically, and we can do it online as well. When I say excuse me, while I am doing it, just like how you access MATLAB. By the way, that's the whole purpose of me trying to get you into an IT environment. Similarly, you should be able to access the S/4HANA system, right? Inventory management, accounting integration. Now, I'm trying to separate this over 2 semesters because we only have about 13 weeks of lectures. And if you look at it, if we take Monday 2 hours lecture, that's 26 hours. I've got to split up 26 hours into, how do I put it? 26 hours, breaking it up into all these aspects, right? So there we go. SAP, right? So what I'm going to now do is I'm going to download this. This is my curriculum basically. And I am going to post this into our WhatsApp group, right? And I'm going to send you an email about this, right? Now, we're not going to cover everything, but this just gives you an idea of what this is all about. All right, let's go to my WhatsApp group, IT5, attach, document, downloads, curriculum design. Right, so you can read up on terms of the course. Maybe I should also email it to you, right? Because my students will say, so I don't have WhatsApp, right? Claudia, are you able to see my, I'm sharing my screen. Oops, discard. I'm going to say attach, browse, and So this gives you an idea of what we're going to be covering, right? I'm going to say curriculum. Where I'm in the information systems department, the IS department. Claudia, can I put my my signature too, so you'll see my signature?
It's fine, sir. You can put it.
Oh, thank you. There we go. Department of Information Systems, and I'm teaching curriculum design, and that's my name. And I've got a PhD. And one day, Claudia, God willing, you will also tell me, sir, I also got a PhD. I'll be so happy that one of my students followed in my footsteps. Right?
Yes, in 2 years, 3 years to come.
Yes, Claudia. And also, Claudia, it'll be when I say you can also, if anyone asks you who's your lecturer, you can tell them your lecturer is Dr. TP Govender, PhD. So you're not being taught by anybody, right? What do you say to that, Claudia?
Wow, I'm proud.
Yeah, right. And I studied very hard and very long to teach postgrad students. By the way, postgrad students, they say they want a lecturer that has a minimum of a master's. So that's why I'm so lucky I can teach you, because I got a minimum of a master's, right? And so I'm sending it off to everybody. Claudia, I'm not sure if you received your email on your cell phone, but I sent you the email now with the curriculum design. So I mentioned to you now that we are going to be using this company, there we go, Zambikes. What are the processes in the Zambikes? Excuse me. Excuse me, right, in Zambikes. Now, if you go to YouTube, you'd actually be able to find this company called Zambikes. So I'm going to YouTube again, and I'm going to look for Zambikes. Zambikes, Zambikes case study. Right, so there's the Zambikes case study. Here we go. Right. You can watch it. Yeah, let's take this one, right? So there's the Zambikes case study. And I am going to share this with you. Copy it. Right. There we go. It's CFR enterprise system. So I'm going to give you some homework, and one of the homework is to. Claudia, what do you think of this? Which other lecture did you?
Sorry, sir, you are cutting off because you are still on the issue of giving us an homework, but somehow you were cutting. No, I'm not sure whether it's network from my side. Is it
We
only
can't
me
hear
that
you.
you're cutting off, sir?
So we can't hear you.
Hello.
You are cutting off, sir.
Everybody.
We can't hear you.
Hi.
Yes,
Claudia.
we can hear you now.
Hello. Somebody.
We can hear you
Yes,
now.
sir.
Oh, I saw a smiley
Hello,
face there.
sir.
We can hear you.
We can hear you now.
Z Gabashi 2010361. Okay, great. Right. So I'm going to send you my the link to watch this video, because this is the business case study that we're going to be using, right? The Zambikes case study. So if I share my screen, I put it in the chat. Right, there's it in the chat there. It's in the chat. Right. I know it says INF 2004. That was a course that they used at UCT some time ago, I think. But there's the case study, the Zambikes case study. Now, Zambikes is a business that they make bicycles out of bamboo, and they have different types of bicycles that they have. They even have a Zambulance, which is a Zambike ambulance, where they can actually transport patients using a bicycle and an attachment to the bicycle, and they go along, right? So that's the story out there. And where did I get this from? Our curriculum that we're going to be talking about. So again, which other lecture homework is to watch Zambikes video. Right? I also gave you another video to watch, which was the research journal. So you can consider that. Yes, the company is based in Lusaka, right? It's a real company. So I gave you some of the videos to watch was my YouTube video of lectures, and I also gave you the video for the Zambikes, and I gave you the video on keeping a research journal. Now, it's not necessarily a research journal, but can also keep a journal of what we are doing. So if you notice now in our journal, I introduced you to the Zambikes case study, and I introduced you to the curriculum that we will be doing. And the curriculum that we are doing is from, let's share my curriculum again. Share my screen, window. Window. Let's go and close that because I'm not going to take it to ACL. I'm waiting for Claudia to have her ACL sorted out. And let me go to downloads. Nope, I don't need that. And let me go to IT5, right? Give me a second. IT5. Oops. Right, so by the way, I've downloaded all the notes for you. IT5A, IT5, IT5, IT5. Should have kept it on my desktop. Give me a second. There's, right, my notes are here. Right, there's my ISIFA notes. Right, so the first unit is the introduction, which I will also email to you. Right, so here's my introduction. Oops, not this, not this, not this, not this, not this. Right, so there's the Zambikes case study. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Oh, there's Zambikes, right? There's Zambikes. So here's so when you are watching the video, you will have access. I'm going to email this to you. There, am I sharing the right screen? Give me a second. Right. So there's the Zambikes case study. And we'll talk. Oh, there we go. Right. So Zambikes, I'm going to read it out, forgive me. Zambikes started as an innovative project in 2007. The needs addressing the social demands of Zambians faced difficult transport, the growing demand for bikes, the Zamp carts, and there's a picture of the bicycles that they developed. Right, so they designed the Zam bike. There's the bamboo bike that they designed. There's the Zambulance that I spoke about, and there's a Zam cart. And this explains the manufacturing strategy, the sales and distribution, what are the procurement processes, the sales that they have, who's the salesman, the production, reporting procedures. Right. So here's the first exercise, understanding the organizational structure of Zambikes. Once you read through the Zambikes business, you'd be able to determine who are in positions of power, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to email this to you. So there's my Zambikes, and you'll need to watch this. Zambikes. That. Right. Let's go to my mail.
Open what's up.
To all. So attach, browse this computer. Downloads. So now it's going to be
Baba.
read the Zambikes case study.
Hey, Baba. Come on. June. Sure. Yeah.
By the way, I hope
Sure.
I'm the link that sends you the most amount of email. Right? I'm going to,
Yeah.
until I sort out my classroom
Yeah.
in MS Teams
Sure.
and in Moodle, now we'll be using email, right? Because Claudia will not have access to that until she has
Angithi it's already active.
about 5 or 6 students that are unregistered.
So moya lapha ku-text status
And
ithini into yakhona.
I'm going to send it. Right? So I got the exam by PDF.
No, angithi kuzomele ungene kwi-profile yakho then bese ungena
Let's go
uselect text pack
chat.
ubokamos, right? Yeah, so when you move to your far right, khona le text status tab, what?
Able to attach. That's important.
Someone's mic is on and they're talking.
Yes. Let me just pause there for a few minutes. Anybody with a question? Anyone with a question? Anyone with a question?
Fish.
Sir, please mute. Nkwanyana is speaking.
Just go ahead, unmute and talk. Sandile, my class rep, where are you? Sandile, are you there?
Yes, yeah.
All right, so that's let's go back to our exercises. Right. Okay. Right, so our course is called Information Technology 5, and I'm going to share my screen again. Right. So under the course unit, we are talking about the CIFA UCT course. What is CIFA? We're going to be dealing with SAP, and we are one of the SAP Alliance universities. We're part of that. You don't have to worry about that. The Zambikes case study, I'm going to give you some info, but I've already emailed that to you. The course unit, I told you where we are. We are under Zambikes case study. I did a little introduction to this course. ES, knowledge, navigating in SAP, procure to pay, accounting concepts. We'll see how far we can get in semester 1, and I'll continue in semester 2. And here's the Zambikes case study, which I've emailed. Enterprise system knowledge. Here's my notes that you need to cover and you need to read. You'll notice that we talk about enterprise system. Right, let's go on. So enterprise system costs, we are dealing with pretty expensive budgets that we're talking about. And in order to implement the system like SAP, for instance, you need to have some pretty expensive hardware, some pretty expensive and intensive training for the staff. All right, you can go ahead and read that. Just to give you an idea of SAP, where SAP is included, here you can read. Claudia mentioned something about at Etiquette. I'm not sure what the amounts are in terms of money, but SAP ERP systems are implemented in HR, which is human resources, financial accounting, asset management, procurement, and materials management. Go ahead, you can. I'm going to send that to you. Where do our costs involved? Costs are involved in the server setup, the networking, the licensing, the training costs, training of the staff to implement it. And again, I don't know what the figures are, but we can find a journal article to indicate, to give an idea of what the cost would be involved in. Right? Why do we have budget overruns? Again, read that. You can, and whenever there's an article that says Panorama 2019 survey results, if you want to, by all means, go ahead and check it out. Right? What are some of the software costs that we will be involved in? Software in terms of the ERP licensing, enterprise resource licensing fees. whether you're going to have it implemented at DUT on all its campuses, on Ritson campus, on Pietermaritzburg campus, on Biko campus, wherever. And now we, as a SAP Alliance University with UCT, we also have to pay licensing costs, right? The maintenance fee, some of the charges involved, whether it's open source, off-premise options, hybrid, and so forth, right? What are some of the hardware costs that we're going to? I'm just going to skim through all of this because I'll cover this in greater detail, but I'd like you to read this in conjunction with the case study that we have, all right? Now, the Zambikes example in Lusaka, they will not be implementing all of this because it's a small business, but as you watch the video, you'll realize that they do implement sales. They do implement materials management. They do implement procurement and so forth, right? So here we go. What are some of the implementation services as a software developer? This is very important. If you read the article that I sent you on what are some of the benefits to the SAP, to implementing SAP ERP systems, you will realize that if you don't spend money on training your staff, then you are wasting your business effort, wasting your time, because staff, if they're not trained to use the software, they will not implement the software. What are some of the other implementation costs? Employee time, whether that employee works overtime or not, productivity losses. A productivity loss, they're talking about when you are first starting or implementing your software like SAP ERP systems, how do we get to the point of us, the student logging in? For instance, with MATLAB, you'll started with MATLAB. Some of you may have had difficulty logging in. Some of you may have said, listen, I've spent 1 hour, 2 hours working on it. How productive was I? What am I getting out of it? And ultimately, you'll realize that, listen, that's an assessment. I'm the lecturer. I'm going to be able to give you a mark, and that will account towards your course mark. On that point, this course is continuous assessment, meaning we will have a number of assessments, and all the assessments will account for your final mark to pass or fail. God forbid you'll fail. I love to think that I have a good pass rate. So you will now complete one assessment, the MATLAB assessment. The ACL will be a continually work in progress. And the SAP S4HANA, once you get your username and login, which is our intensive part of this course, you will be submitting, let's say, for instance, a spreadsheet, a financial statement at the end of the module, and that I will use as an assessment for you, right? Right, we got to find this article, Panorama to 2020, educating clients on in terms of, there's the client cost, change management. So let's say, for instance, we were not using ERP SAP systems, and now we have to change over into S4HANA. What are some of the costs involved? I'd like you to read through this, implementation costs. Now, here are some of the questions that I will be asking of you. Which of the following software costs can be incurred in enterprise systems projects? Please, you would only be able to answer this once you go through the notes. This one, enterprise system benefits. I already introduced you to these concepts in the journal article. Why would I want to teach you this software, right? Costs are incurred, benefits are hard. Right, we'll come back to this. Basically, an enterprise system kind of integrates the HR, the procurement, the maintenance, all of that. It creates it under one umbrella, and it allows you as a client to be able to access data from one pool of resource, right? But you will need to go through this in detail and be able to answer questions at the end of the semester, either in the form of multiple choice questions or short paragraph type questions, right? So go through the benefits of ERP systems, cost reduction, scalability, reduction in human errors, increase in sales. From a managerial perspective, improved information visibility, improved stock and financial control. In terms of a strategic ability, supply chain management, e-commerce. E-commerce is basically online shopping. I know your ladies may like that. Some of the guys have to start paying up for their girlfriends and their wives when they buy from Mr. Price or from Woolworths online. IT infrastructure, empowering employees. So this is basically, excuse me, why we would want to learn about implementing an ERP system, an enterprise resource SAP. And the example that we are using is SAP. And within SAP, it's S4HANA. Now, when you see an article like this, Mukwazi and Seymour 2012, that's a journal article. There we go. There's the article here. Mukwazi, Seymour, Jane, the growing trend of, right. So if I copy this, if I copy that and I paste it into my browser, I should be able to access that data, that file. Right, let's, oops, file not found. All right, I shouldn't have done it in real time. Let's see if I can click on, there we go. Let me go and do a search in Google, Control C. Now you are postgraduate students. You should, there we go. Seymour, Mukwazi, Google Scholar. Right. Oh, there's an article in 2015. So I'm going to hopefully download this article and forward it to you. A literature review of ERP implementations on the African continent. Right. So apart from us doing, there's a plenty of, here we go. Right, what's ERP systems? A case study. Let's see if they talk about ERP implementation, a case study, right? ERP acquisition, accept a user, right? So let's go and download this article and I'm going to email it to you, right? So your postgraduate students, reply to all. So you're going to keep a journal article on ERP systems, right? It'll also help you to understand ERP implementation in Africa, right? And let's send that up, right? Send. Oh, I've been talking for some time now. Any questions? Anybody have a question? Pick n Pay is an example of a company that uses ERP, SAP systems. Please read why was SAP selected. Why is Pick n Pay? You know that another example would have been. So when we start to do the practical aspects of this course, you'll get to understand where this thing about get a break comes from, the manufacturing processes, right? And in summary, levels of ERP integration. So we know this ERP thingy is software and it's a software that helps us in a business environment. The business environment that we are talking about is this company called Zambikes in Lusaka, and we're going to use that as a case study to explain these concepts of ERP. And under applications, in the interface integration, data integration, business integration, global integration. So I'm going to send this to you so that you can have notes to read through. And why one of the main takeaways from today's lecture is the objective. Why are we using ERP systems? Why are we learning ERP systems? What's the whole process of this, right? You can read that, read. Right, so let me just send this off to you. Enterprise system knowledge. Right, enterprise knowledge. I'm going to email that to you. Attach, browse, enterprise system knowledge. Right. And there we go. Right. So let's see what we've done so far. In today's lecture, I spoke to you very briefly about the curriculum. I touched on enterprise systems. I spoke to you about the company that we're going to talk about, Zambikes. And I've sent you the notes for you to go through in terms of the company, what they buy and sell. We've spoken about a journal article, which I'd like you to read, information systems in developing countries, and enterprise system knowledge. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of this into a particular week 1, and I'm going to say that's the work that we've covered in week 2, actually. This is the second week of lectures. Last week was, you can consider it an intro. Last week was MATLAB. Today is enterprise system knowledge, and I introduced you to the Zambikes concept. Okay, do I have any questions? Hello? Can post it in the chat.
Sir.
Network is bad. It took very long. Okay.
Sir.
Yes. Question.
I'm sorry for taking you backwards. I have a question about this ACL.
Hello, anybody with a question? ZMB. ZEMBE. Yes, go ahead. Your mic is unmuted.
Yeah, I have a question. Sorry for taking you backwards. I have a question.
No problem. Take me backwards anytime you want. Any year. Go ahead.
Say,
yes.
How do you download or where do you get the link for the ACL? Like for me, I registered last week. I think it was last week on Thursday, if not Wednesday.
Okay, you'll have to ask Mr. Mandla to register you with ACL. All right. So I'm going to give you Mr. Mandla's email address. He's the one that's nice person. Ask him nicely, right?
Okay.
He'll have to license it to you, right?
Okay.
I'm going to post it in the chat. Tell Mr. Mandla, please help me. I registered late and I don't have access to ACL, and that's going to be one of my assessments, and I'd like to get to download it and access it. All right?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sure. Once you get access to ACL, I'll just show you quickly where it is. You will need to go and I'll give you the Word document. All right, the Word document today. ACL. Let's look for ACL. ACL. Right, I'm going to email it to you, ACL installation. I think I have done that already. Right. Once you have access to ACL, right. And here's all the notes for you to be able to access it. Right. Okay, so right, so you'll need to click on the account activation, and that will come from Mr. Manla, right? When he sorts it out, you'll need to fill in all your details, your first name, username, and have access to Highbond. Click on the downloads.
Screen is blank.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. I'm sorry. Right, there we go. Right, let's start from the top. So here's the installation guidelines for ACL, right? Click on the link on the account activation email. That'll come from Mr. Mandla and the rest of the other students who have access to ACL. Fill in the details, accept the invitation. It's just like how you did it for MATLAB or similar. And click on downloads. So there's the link on the top, accounts.highbond.com. Let me see if I can go to that link and see if it takes me to that. Accounts dot right. So I'm just taking you through to my ACL account. Right, so there's my ACL account. I'm not going to share my password with you. Right, so there we go. I'm registered to Durban University of Technology, and that's my username, Prinavin Govender. Here's my profile. And see, I told you I have my PhD. There we go. It says title DR. Yay! There's my cell phone number. You know that as well, right? So you can go back to the organization and you look for downloads. There's it there, downloads, right? You click on downloads. And once you click on downloads, it'll say ACL for Windows. Download version 15.11. You click on downloads. Now, I'm not going to download this because I've already downloaded it to my machine. But make sure you have a network that you'd be able to do it on, right? Try to do it at work or do it after 12 o'clock at night when you get good speeds. Okay, does it answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Any other question that you have for me? I'll put it on in the chat. What's the link?
Oh yeah, one more question. You said something about us as students submitting the math lab and the record.
Yes.
What was the record about? Which record were you talking about?
Okay, sure. Sorry, let me just show you. I'll share one of the students. I hope they don't mind if I share the records. Let's see, the student sent it to me. No, you only sent me the certificate. There we go. Is X Satoli out here? Is Mr. Satoli here? I hope you don't mind me sharing the progress report. Are you able to see my shared screen? Right. Are you able to see the progress report for X Satoli?
Yes.
Can you see that it says course overview, commands, MATLAB, vectors, matrices? This is where it gives me the progress report for each of the items within the MathWorks training services. And ultimately the MathLab certification. Now, let me tell you something else. You can include this in your CV. In your CV, you can put down, hey, I did a training course called MathWorks. Would you like that? Hello?
Sure.
Yeah, right. Now, let me tell you about you doing the ACL course. Let me show you when you finish the ACL, you can also get a certificate. All right, let's see if I can pick up and show it to you. From last year, my students that did the ACL course. Nope. Oh, let me send this to you, the ACL course, audit command language, what we'll be talking about. Oh, great. I'm so happy I got that right. The ACL course. Download ACL course structure. All right, so I'm going to email that to you, but we're not doing it now. We're going to be doing it much later on, right? I just want to show you where my students file upload. No. Okay, for some odd reason, I can't find my students from last year, their work. But when I do, I will send it to you and when we are ready. But for now, I just like you all to do the MATLAB exercise. And well, I've given you plenty of stuff to work with. You've got some journal articles to read, keep a journal diary. I'd like you to read and watch the Zambikes example and the case study. Okay, I'm coming up to 6:30. Any other questions? Questions for me? No questions. Yeah. Anybody with a question? I'm so happy I've got 29 attendees. Wow. Excellent. I have to take a screenshot of this to send it to my head of department. Look at that. 29 attendees. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Right? I had 29 attendees. I think I have a class of about 30 plus 34, 35 students. That's 29 out of 35 students. Not bad. Excellent. Okay, can we put our cameras on for a few seconds and we'll do our goodbyes? And I'll take a screenshot and I'll post it to our WhatsApp. Anybody wants to put their cameras on? Anybody? Anybody? Come on, at least one student, please. Al Shezi. Yay! Thank you, Al Shezi. And one more. Yay! I got another student there. Thank you. Thank you. Excellent. Get ready for a nice picture. All right, I'm going to take a picture. I'm going to take a picture. Yay! I got a picture. Thank you. Right, check out WhatsApp group and the picture will be posted out there, right? Hey, thank you. Right? I hope you liked.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you too. I hope you learned something in the in our Monday afternoon before you came to the lecture at 5 o'clock. Now, where you hopefully have an idea of where this course is heading, what we are doing, and you have reading material to keep you occupied for the rest of the week. All right. Thank you. Goodbye. 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 Oh, let me stop the recording.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Goodbye.